were talking earlier, and we were talking about how I need to get on her level of swimming so that I can perform better.
Because swimming is part of triathlon.
Right. So if I train with Jasmine, then we'll be good.
Tomorrow,
we'll be good.
6 a.m.
Let's do it. I'm there.
Wow.
Yeah, but I guess in terms of your training, because you do sprints, I do 1,500 meters. So for me as a non-swimmer, coming from a non-swimming background, I do a lot of swimming to kind of catch up. But I'm just curious, as a sprinter, you're swimming all the time. So what's your kind of volume like throughout the week, or like what volume do you do like on a daily or weekly basis?
I like swimming like quality sets, so volume-wise, it's going to be like 4,000 to 5,000 meters a session.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess in a day that would be double, because sometimes we swim twice a day. But I think that doesn't compare to how much she swims.
Oh, no.
I think she swims twice as much. But yeah, for sprinters, like the volume is really low, but the intensity and the quality, it's like we do almost like 90% of it fast. And
right. Do you use stretch cords or paddles, or what are you doing for the power?
We use paddles. We use those swim belts.
Yeah, I have
so like my coach would hold it, and I would just like swim and not move. You know, that's for power and speed. Sorry.
Oh, really? No, that just sounds like the hardest thing ever, to swim against somebody holding you.
Yeah. It's fun. It's different. It's fun. If you're used to swimming like up and down the pool, it's nice to get like a change. So yeah.
Does that really pick up your speed? Sorry, my bad.
We do it both ways, so assisted and resisted. If it's resisted, it's hard. You have to have power every time you swim. And then assisted is when it's like the opposite. So you swim towards your coach, pulling the belt, and you work on speed.
Wow.
So that's fun, because it's like you're flying in the water.
Yeah. That's a fun part.
That was really
So what's it like, I guess, for you being an individual swimmer who's mostly training alone, you said?
Yeah.
I mean, because I know a lot of people out there, especially for triathletes and beginners, they hate swimming, right? So how do you mentally go through the training and do those long sessions and stay motivated, I guess?
It's hard, honestly. There would be days where I really wouldn't want to do it, but you have to always focus on your goal and just make that your motivation, because swimming it's a lonely sport. You kind of, you can swim with a team, but you do it on your own, alone. You look down and you just stare at that black line, even though there's people around you swimming. So it can get really lonely. So I sometimes swim and I think, okay, I gotta do this practice well. If it means that 0.01 improvement, I'll do it, you know, and just looking for motivation.
Right, And I think end of the day, like, you have to really love doing that. You have to love having that solo time in the pool. I mean, sometimes it's good to train with other people too.
Yes.
But I think you got to relish that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's my escape. It's so quiet down there, you know, down there. Under the sea.
But you brought up an excellent point about being an athlete, that it can get lonely. Sometimes it's supposed to be lonely because you have to train. You can't rely on other people to, you know, push you or motivate you. So how do you deal? What is your self-talk? What do you tell yourself when you're training? You know, and it's like, it's so easy to just say, I don't need to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. What do you tell yourself to keep yourself going?
Well, I think for Jiu-Jitsu, it's quite different because you have to have a partner to practice your sport. So I think in Jiu-Jitsu, it's like your training partners are definitely key to you being motivated enough to keep going. Like, for example, preparing for the SEA Games, Carlo was one of my main training partners. And, like, we really, like, work together in terms of the mindset, motivation, and, like, when he would see that I was, like, kind of maybe tired, looking tired and stuff, he would really tell me to, like,
you would do that,
what's going on? Yeah, he would.
Meggie, let's go.
Yeah, he always does that. Yeah. So I think for Jiu-Jitsu, it's a bit different because, like, maybe you're not so familiar with the sport, but you need, like, someone, a human being, to be able to do your moves.
Pull, push.
Yeah. Like, literally doing the sport.
Well,
And about that
later. After we do this, you know, they can do a sample. What about for you?
Well, I actually wanted to bounce a question off Carlos. So when you're since you guys have been training, right, and you guys kind of you know each other, you kind of take care of each other. What about when you're going to SEA Games and you know of this competitor, you know how they're like ranking or their stats performing? What's it like going against them, and kind of preparing for that?
In SEA Games, the field is really small, so we're really familiar with, we kind of know what they want to do. Most of the guys we've already fought before.
Yeah.
And we have video on them. We go to even when we're not competing in some competitions, we go and then we scout, take videos. We see them, we look for the mistakes, and then we try to take capitalize on the mistakes.
I like what Carlos said about sports being like a game of chess. So it's the mind game. Yep. How do you win the mind game, CJ? When you lose the mind game, wala ka na sa focus. Wala na. So pwede ka na magkalat, matatalo ka na, you get distracted. How do you win the mind game?
Actually, when it comes to fencing, you need to start strong para maano mo na agad yung kalaban mo. Ma-discourage na siya na, oy, malakas na siya. Pwedeng ganon. Kasi, di ba, fencing is a mind game also.
Unahan mo na.
Yes. Kailangan ipakita mo sa kanya na malakas ka para medyo yung bumaba yung confidence niya, lamunin mo na siya talaga doon. Gano'n na lang talaga yung...
Medyo galit tong si CJ. Nakakatakot tong kalaban.
Actually, kailangan mo kasing maging ganon sa laro. Kailangan mo maging beast sa laro.
Beast mode.
Yeah, beast mode. Kailangan mo talaga
Do you guys have that? Beast... Jasmine, you have that? Beast mode? Yeah.
Of course I'm not going to show it, but yeah.
Kim, do you have that beast mode?
You have to, of course. Yeah, you have to have that. Everyone has their own version of it, and of course it depends on what type of sport you're in. But I think the mentality is 100% everything. You have to train that. You have to do whatever it is you need to do to visualize, to focus on the race, eliminate distractions, especially in the moment. It could be a 2-minute event or a 2-hour event. And the flow comes and goes, right, depending on how long the event is. So you have to be able to dial it back in and get back into it.
Yeah. I'm already getting scared. Yeah. I could imagine if anyone else would be on the same course as you, maybe not in the swim because they can't see your face, but in the bike or the run, if they see, oh my gosh, Kim Kilgroe, beast mode, tabi ka na, get out of the way.
Right, and it's also a safety thing because especially, on the bike course, there could be other car interactions.
Right.
So, if a stray car starts coming on the road and if there's not enough police to clear it out, it's on. You better get out of the way or else, someone's going to go down. Hopefully it's not the biker. But, yeah, you definitely have to have that tunnel vision and be in it and I think that's why we love sports is because you love being in that flow. No matter what sport it is, you get into that tunnel and you're just there, 100% purely focused in the moment.